Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to New Cities. For those of you joining me for the first time ever, my name is Sabouts, and if you're returning to my channel for another series, I'd like to welcome you back. You might be asking yourself, what is New Cities? You might not even be asking that question, but regardless of whether or not you're asking it, I am going to answer your question and show you a bit of what I think is actually a really cool game. It's kind of flown under the radar a bit over the course of the last 30 or so days. New Cities is a city building simulation game. You can chalk it up with some of the greats like City Skylines or SimCity 2000 is one that I find has the most resemblance with this game. And the game currently is in a very, very early preview or very early version of the game. You can see 48.2 off to the side, alpha for Windows. So what you're about to see is definitely an early access version of it. And there may be some bugs, and there might be a few things that don't function correctly or missing content, but I'm going to show you what the game does have to offer. And before I get started, I just want to do a quick shout out to the developer. He has an Indiegogo page, and you'll find a link down below in the description. You could go check it out. There's about 30 days left on the campaign, and he's already halfway funded. So after you get done watching this video, if it looks like something you might be interested in, why don't you go ahead, click that link, go check it out and support the developer. He's doing an excellent job at making what I think is going to be an awesome city building game. So let's go ahead and start a new city. Now, actually something really cool I want to show off is this is my test city here. So when I was doing kind of a test run of the game just to see what it was all about, kind of get familiarized with the controls, and also so that way you guys would actually see me build a nice city. This is the city that I was building, and I thought it was kind of interesting because it actually shows up on your most recent city you're playing, shows up as your background when you're in the menu, which is really, really cool. And if you actually hit play, it just kind of throws you right into it. So that's a neat little feature. It's kind of the small things that that matter sometimes. But yeah, if we click on New City, we'll go ahead and we'll actually start a new one. It's going to go ahead and generate it, and I'll show you what this is all about. Now, like I said before, there's a lot of throwback here to SimCity 2000, and I can definitely vibe with that because SimCity 2000 is probably one of the first games I ever played on the computer, and it is certainly one of my favorite games. I have to have put hundreds of hours into it when I was younger, and I had a lot of fun playing it. So just to kind of get that vibe from this is definitely very exciting for me. Now, this is awesome. I already love this map. So the maps are always randomly generated, and this one in particular is very, very cool. So I didn't like the first one I got for my test build, but for this one I really like it because I've got this large body of water which goes off the map, so you know, potential for things like sea trade and stuff like that. A couple smaller bodies of water, a little bit of a mountain range here with a snow cap on top. Very cool. But what I especially like is this little kind of island here. That's really neat, kind of an opportunity to maybe build on that and make something pretty cool. Maybe do like all my commercial areas over on this island with a little bit of residential, kind of like a New York City, Long Island vibe going on. And the main part of the city off over to the side here. Now you'll notice the game, it's a little bit different, but it's kind of cool. It's almost like it's 3D, but it's got kind of like a 2D look. And the developer here actually said that that's 100% intentional. He was going for this kind of look. It's beautiful. Kind of nauseating though. If you spin the camera too much, it actually makes me sick. That's just me in general. I just can't do a lot of camera spinning in games, or I start to get kind of motion sickness, believe it or not. But yeah, it's definitely cool. And we can zoom right in. You can see that the developers put in nice little grid lines here, and they get even smaller and smaller all the way down to these little dots. And this just gives you a sort of outline to build on, which I found very handy when I was doing my test city. So very cool. So this is our starting money here. Population, temperature, the time, year, and date. I think this is kind of interesting because the game actually starts you off in 1950, and the years do progress. I'm not sure. I didn't play the game long enough to see if there's actually like a technological advancement if you continue to play longer and longer. But I think it's interesting because the developer starting the game off so early like this, in that century, kind of opens up the door for maybe the possibility to expand upon that and kind of make it your city sort of progress through the ages. That'd be kind of cool. All right, so it says, welcome to new cities. Your first task is to build some roads. Click on the road tool in the bottom left. So it kind of starts you off with a little bit of a tutorial. So we click on the road tool down here, and we can see there's a couple of different roads. We've got just your standard road with a stop sign. We've got an avenue here, street lights, a boulevard, something that might go in a more fancier residential area. Then we've got our one-way roads. And the traffic in this game actually is really good. The developer originally, when he was designing the game, he was building it to be a traffic simulator, but then he started expanding onto it with building buildings and cities and such, and it just kind of grew from there. And I think that's really neat because the game being a traffic simulator first and foremost kind of makes it unique in ways that you're sort of are building on the fact that he's already got the traffic part of it nailed down, which I think a lot of city building games really lack good traffic and stuff. A big part of a city builder. So let's start our city kind of on an area that's relatively flat. If you actually go like this, you can see when you're looking up, it kind of looks like the whole thing's flat. You know, you can kind of see elevation a little bit, which is portrayed really well with the mountains and stuff and the shadows. But once you get down, you really start to see it. And believe it or not, this area right here is very flat. And so I think building here and eventually progressing over into the island is definitely something that we're going to want to do. So let's go ahead and get the houses started. Now, houses don't actually take up that much room. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build a lot of my main roads with avenues, and then the houses will be built. They will be built outside of that. So I'm going to do avenues there and down here for now. And then in the center here, I'm going to build on these kind of grid styles. I found that this did work when I did it in my test game, and that this was plenty of room for houses. So I don't want to spend all of my money. So we're just going to do this one little area for now, and we'll expand upon it. But this will be residential. So we'll go ahead. You can see the demand here. So if the bar is up at the top, there's a high demand for these different locations: residential, commercial, and industrial. If you're familiar with a lot of these Sim City games or the City Skylines in particular, this will look fairly familiar to you. So you click here and then you're kind of zoning it for residential. So we'll go ahead and this is actually the main strip, and I think I might keep residential off of that for aesthetics and stuff, but I will put residential on these inside. Actually, I don't even want it there. Believe it or not, I just want it to be... There we go. I just want it to be on these inside areas like this. Keep it out of my main traffic areas because I don't want to create any bottlenecks. So we go ahead and unpause. We should start to see some houses go up and population immediately starts jumping. And I just spilled something on my keyboard. Hold on one second. Yeah, so you can see that we've got first farm. People live and work here, keep building. Someone moved in. So right now we're kind of like a really small town, kind of like a little farm town, a couple of small residential houses and stuff. The whole goal is to eventually upgrade your city into a massive city. And I actually especially like the way that this game does it because you're kind of shooting for milestones to unlock certain things, which I think is really cool. And I know other city building games have done that in the past, but I think this game does it in even more of a larger scale where you can't even get some of the most basic buildings at the beginning until you reach certain milestones. So first row is the first house. Someone moved in. Now let's get them a job. Yellow zones called industrial. Allow farms. Farms need very large amounts of flat space. Expect to fill the map with them. So the industrial right now just does farms. It doesn't do factory jobs or anything like that, which is cool. So we're going to want to get a farming district up that's going to provide, food for our citizens and jobs. And I always like to keep the farming area, at least I tried to in my test game, but it didn't work too well. But I want to keep the farming area somewhat away from the hustle and bustle of the main town. So I'm going to build a road down to here, kind of off to the side, and then start putting farming down here. I know that people are going to have to drive a ways for work because of that, but eventually we will probably build around the farm anyways, and so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Plus, I mean, in real life, you technically got to, if you're going to work on a farm and live in town, you're probably going to drive at least 15 minutes to 20 minutes outside of town just to get to the farm. So not completely unreasonable. We'll keep the traffic lights kind of moving on the main sort of grids here. You see the darker black lines. We'll come right to this corner, and then down here, same thing with this one. In fact, I'll just keep this all like that. And then the farms here we're going to do in the center, but farms need a lot more space. And so I'm going to go ahead and do this. And that should give me the space I need. And we'll go ahead and start laying all of this out to be farms. I don't know if this is like a better build than, say, any other type of build. I just find that this build seems to work. I guess I'd have to play the game a lot more to actually see if this is efficient for traffic and such. I'm sure as the game progresses and comes forward a lot more, people will find out more, different types of builds and stuff. You can even build roads at like 45s and stuff like that. All sorts of different angles and everything. So that's really cool too. And there is interstates, but we're a little, or expressways actually. Interstates, I call them expressways. Still definitely a little ways away from that. But first farms are going up. You can already see we got a help wanted sign above this farm. So just a matter of getting population up and then getting these farms, sort of people employed at these farms and going from there. We got a few houses here. So once the population crosses 100, I believe that it's on to the next thing. Become a hamlet. 100 people live here. The state now legally recognizes our locality. Somebody even wants to open a store. Use the blue zone called commercial. So it says place commercial zones at important intersections and along major thoroughfares. There will not be a lot of commercial demand until the city grows larger, so use it sparingly for now, which is the truth of the matter. So I thought about putting commercial on this road here. I think that just made the most sense. And so we'll go ahead and allow commercial businesses to start popping up. A few are going to come up here and there. Help wanted signs coming up above a couple of them. And you'll see more and more people are starting to move in now that we're providing jobs and services. So that's pretty cool. And I usually keep this screen somewhat, keep it somewhat pulled up because I'm kind of trying to keep track of what we need. So it looks like we are going to need more residential. So I'll sort of build this back up very similar to how I did before. I'm just going to do 2 different roadways this time. We're actually almost out of money. We're below $1 million now. So let me just throw some more houses up. People are already moving in. That's good. I'm going to create some roads going this way here at some point. Probably just one here in the center. I just haven't done it yet. Actually, yeah, we'll hold off on that because it's gonna cost us money I really don't want to spend. See, we are almost out of money to build roads. Click on the budget tracker in the top left corner to open the budget panel. You need to extend the loan term. So here's the budget panel here. You can extend your, you can raise property taxes, increase the amount of money coming in. Discretionary expenses, you can actually take a look at all of those. And you can click on this to actually keep these pulled up if you wanted to monitor them. The total earnings and the line of credit. So we had a line of credit of almost 10 million. We can increase that. The term of the loan, that would give us more money if we wanted to do that, but would increase the interest rate. I actually would rather just get it paid off. I don't like having any type of loans. You can see it's costing us tons of money in interest. So what I'm actually going to do now, we've got, once we get, we've actually lost a little bit of population, but I would like to increase property taxes just a bit to get a little bit more money rolling in. And we'll wait to see. I see that the farms are still kind of something people need. Farms are taking a lot of space, as you can see here. I've laid out these 2 roads, and I'm going to do the same exact thing here. Even though the farms are kind of eating up that space very quickly. Ooh, we actually didn't even have the money for that. So no problem. We'll just throw a few farms up here. The hills sometimes make it kind of weird, but there we go. And then we'll throw some farms up here or see if these farms actually take it up. You can see some of these farms take up just a crazy amount of space. We have help wanted signs, though. What kind of farms are these? Oh, they're like chicken coops or something. 1,000 people live here, so now we are a village. There are officially more human residents than bovine. Next achievement at 5,000, we can build a school. So this kind of shows you the achievement system and the sort of city growing system. So once we hit that 5,000 population, we'll be able to build a school, and eventually we'll probably be able to, I'm assuming, because I haven't gotten that far yet, be able to build a police station, fire station, stuff like that, and just keep unlocking stuff, which is really neat. All right, so you can see not a lot of commercial spaces just because of the size of our town. I'm hoping at some point we'll be able to get things like offices and stuff. More farms going up, that's good. I still don't think I've got the money for this. I think just because of, it looks like we're probably going up a hill or something. Nah, it's actually relatively flat. I don't know why it's taking so much to get that to grow. But we don't really have a whole lot of, like, there's still plenty of available home space here. So I'm going to go ahead and increase property taxes to 3% and see what that does. So far I haven't seen, like, people leaving or anything when I increased it to that in my test game, so that it didn't seem like it was too much of an issue. Boy, I kind of like that rain. That's the first time I've seen the rain, the weather effects. That's really cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, 5,000 is going to definitely take a little bit of time to get to. Let's go ahead and plan on increasing. See, 400 to 2K. God, that is a large part of our money. How about here? 477, not much better. I could always throw houses on this main street, but I was actually going to do more commercial if the time came where it made sense to fit it. Right now we haven't even begun to fill our commercial space completely, but it's fleshing out pretty good. Nice hot day today. Almost 3,000 actually. Now we're starting to get a little bit of a boom. It comes in like waves, right? Look at how many houses are going up now. I bet. Yeah, look at that residential housing demand there. And you can see the amount of money's just skyrocketed as well. It's a good idea raising the property taxes. I'm going to go ahead and definitely throw some more houses in now that we've got this nice little housing boom coming along. Nice, this is perfect. Making a good amount of money. If I do this, does it pay a lot of it off? Overdrawn, yeah, so I can't pay it off. Which is, I don't fully think I understand the paying off the loan part of it, because if I understand this correctly, if I want to drop this, let's see, it'll be paid off at 1 year, then I'm guessing. Loan interest, and I'm guessing this is the amount I've paid, or is that that's the total amount I've paid in interest. Cash flow, balance. So, see, the line of credit keeps increasing. Total earnings. Don't fully know how I can drop the loan without, like, massively overdrawing. But I don't want to take more money, that's for sure. So I guess I just have to have a lot of money to be able to pay that down. We could just keep increasing property taxes. Okay, things are kind of blowing up here. So let's go ahead and throw another. Well, these farms actually occupied that entire space. I'll make a road here anyways, just in case some smaller farms want to move in and fill up some of those voids. You can see they're filling up those voids, so you can do that. So we'll do that there, but yeah, we definitely need a little bit more, really, commercial. I feel like we haven't really fully fleshed out that commercial, but we could throw some here. That was kind of the point of that anyway. Shopping, convenience stores, stuff like that. We'll throw another. Oh, wow, that already just cost me a ton of my money. I want to throw in more houses and apartments, but then I want to focus on getting the farming situation under control. 5,000 people live here. There is now a dot on the map here. Residents are asking for a school. A school is expensive, but will attract factories. Factories employ more people than farms do. New amenity schools, amenity tool available. Next achievement at 20,000, we could build a city hall. Awesome. So now we'll be able to start building factories, but we're gonna have to find a place to put that. Hey, maybe we could just make this whole island like an industrial factory island. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, so we'll find a cool place to put that, and I'll explain more some of the systems of how a factory can affect you, such as pollution and everything, and we will check out the school as well. Do all of that in the next episode. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below letting me know if you enjoy the game. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like as well. Let me know you guys want to see more of this content, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget hitting the subscribe button as well so you can keep updated when new videos drop. I release 2 videos a day, so you're not going to want to miss it. Go check out the Indiegogo for this developer. Support his game. I will be supporting it. I'm expecting you guys to support it as well. I'm very impressed overall and excited to check out more of new cities. Thank you all for joining me. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you next time.